when I was in college, General William Westmoreland was invited to speak to the political society or whatever. And for those of you who don't know who General William Westmoreland is, he was the head of the U.S. forces in the Vietnam War. And he's famous for saying this thing in that incredible movie, Hearts and Minds, where he says something like, you don't understand, Asian people don't experience emotions the way we do. They don't really feel death or pain and suffering the way we do. And it's intercut with this Vietnamese woman weeping so profusely over the death of her husband, and she leaps into his grave, and it's just so wrenching. And it keeps cutting back and forth between that and General William Westmoreland. And, he was, I think, a war criminal. But he was invited to speak, and he was being, dignified with an audience. And my friends and I thought this was outrageous, and there should be some kind of protest. And so we organized a protest. But our idea was there was a projection booth in the auditorium, and there was just enough room where the projector is to crawl into it from the auditorium if you're really skinny, which I was. And I had a Super 8 projector, and I had some footage of the Phoenix program, the torture program that the American military and the CIA conducted on Viet Cong suspects. And my plan was I would sneak into this projection booth, I would turn off the lights during his talk, and I would project this torture footage. And it was gruesome, horrible stuff. And we also knew that the police would come and they would arrest me. So we tried to do this diversion where we had some people protesting in one area to get the police to go there so I could make a getaway. And so I snuck into the booth. The thing began. He's talking. I shut off the lights from within the booth. I project the torture footage over him. And then somebody on the stage turned the lights on from the light switch that was controlled from the stage. And when the lights were on, you couldn't really see the torture footage anymore. So then I would turn the lights off from the projection booth, and you could see it, and then they would turn it off from the stage, and it was like on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. And it was just kind of like an experimental film. And William Westmoreland didn't know what to do. He just was like, and he just was like stuttering and looking at the lights and the projector. And I mean, basically I interrupted it, but not permanently or super successfully. So I realized I should leave now. So I grabbed my stuff and I ran out the thing, and I had sandals on, and I lost a sandal on the way because I was running so fast, and I didn't want to run back to get it because the police were coming towards me. So I got away, but they got my sandal, and they went around trying to find whose sandal this was. And, it's just like Cinderella, but they never found me.